Oh, yeah. You hear that? Ooh. Oh, yeah. I want to dance now. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I feel it. Oh, man. I can't even keep my feet from moving. Woo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Around the NAL podcast. I'm Mr. Williams, and good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. And good night. What an off season. It went so much differently than I anticipated. Also, make sure that you check out Inside the Walls podcast. Jim Mernier, Matt Patton, and Jeff, sorry, man, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Jeff somebody. These guys do an awesome job, an amazing job. They're top of the line in this industry. I cannot say enough good things about what Jim Mernier is doing for the sport. That man is a content machine, and he's professional, keeps things to himself, and he's helping grow this sport in a good way. I've been known in this industry as Arena Football Statement, and I was proud to bring my show under the umbrella of Inside the Walls Network because they're doing great things for the sport. So please give them a follow on Facebook, X, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, and billions and billions and billions of others. Thank you to Jim, Matt, and Jeff for doing what you do. Your show is far superior to my own, and I tip my hat to you. Even though you can't see it, I'm literally tipping my hat. And you deserve every bit of applause. So there you go, gentlemen. Good work. As a bit of an introduction, some of you that have seen my Around the NAL videos may be asking, why is this dupe only doing audio? Billions and billions and billions of reasons. But let me just share a few. Number one, I seem to have a very active social life. In other words, I haven't been able to figure out how not to have babies. Oh, hold on. Everybody out there that's just like, hey, Dick, I want to give you some advice. You know what? I don't want your advice on how not to have babies. Just don't give me that advice. I love kids. I intend to raise them to be great men and women in our future society. But having that many young kids makes it just really hard to get enough time to produce high-quality video, whilst audio, it's much simpler and less time-consuming. Reason 2. Isn't it awesome that you don't have to look at my ugly face? You're welcome. Maybe that should be reason number 1. Still, I get it. You have to endure my deep, deep voice while listening to the glories of the National Arena League. But what's nice about short audio episodes is that you can listen to them while driving to and from work without looking at your phone. So I just saved your life. You're welcome. And in most cases, you can get through the whole episode in a short time. Reason number 3. There is no reason number 3. What I do want to say is I'd love to hear from the fans what they'd like to see from the Around the NAL show. The National Arena League, I think, really wants to hear from the fans. What would you like to see different? What ways can be improved? What's important to you in this sport? What would help you to feel like you're getting more for your buck by buying tickets and merch? Quick reality check. While not everything can meet your lofty expectations immediately, I do believe that the NAL is striving for excellence, and they've made incredible strides this offseason. What an unpredictable offseason. The beauty of arena football is how unpredictable it is. When Emperor Tom Brady was crowned the golden child of the NFL, they made sure to make the Patriots a dynasty. When Patrick Mahomes came along and they needed a new golden boy, they made the Chiefs a dynasty. The NFL is so predictable that it's like watching a Hallmark movie. Now, for context, Hallmark makes maybe a dozen Christmas movies a year, and they all have the same plot. In fact, every movie Hallmark puts out has the exact same plot. Now, there are rumors that after widespread surveys, intense forensic analysis, grandiloquent and oratorical psychological debates, that Hallmark is on the brink of discovering a second plot. While I don't believe that, I believe they're closer than the NFL is to discovering a second plot. The predictability is uncanny, but that doesn't mean the world of football is. The National Arena League Championship in Omaha this last season had every bit of theatrics and suspense and unpredictability you could ever ask for in a championship football game. That game alone, between the I-29 rivals of the Omaha Beef and the Sioux City Bandits, should give you every reason to watch the National Arena League very closely this season. But even with that reason, there are billions and billions and billions of other reasons to watch the NAL in 25. Here's my personal top 5 reasons that I'm excited for NAL football. Oh, yeah. You feel that? It's getting steamy up in here. Yeah, you feel it? Oh, step to the right. Step to the left. Yeah, okay. Reason number 5, the return of the ending 5. The Idaho Horsemen, Colorado Spartans, Sioux City Bandits, Omaha Beef, and Carolina Cobras are all coming back, only better than a year ago. It's interesting because after the championship game last season, I met in the hallway with Sioux City Bandits head coach Irv Strobing coming off of a tough loss. I asked him if he was coming back in 25, and he said he wasn't sure. He's got a lot to think about. They've just suffered a tough loss. He needed to evaluate his future. And holding a beer in his hand, he said to me, I don't know if I will. Only his voice is like better than mine, so I can't really imitate it. He's like, I don't know if I will. I got a lot to think about. Well, he's back. Fred Shaw of Colorado is back. Brandon Negron of Carolina is back. Mike Tatum, of course, is coming back to Omaha. And Chris Reynolds of Idaho will continue to improve his product this offseason. Not only are all 5 teams returning, but all 5 head coaches of those teams are returning. That doesn't happen often. But what it suggests to the fans is consistency and stability. 2 important things that don't exist often in minor league sports like this, especially football. It's expensive. Number 4, the inclusion of the Shreveport Rouxgaroux. That was embarrassing. Louisiana deserves a professional football team in arena football, especially after that utter AFL debacle. It's actually really quite cool to see an expansion team like this pop up. Look, I get it. It's brand new. It's nerve-wracking in today's economy, but I'm super excited to see what they bring to the table. They've signed a ton of amazing talent. They're taking the football end of things seriously. So let's start seeing more sponsorships on the business side of things, and we're good to go. Number 3, the move of the Wheeling Miners. Coach Rez is an amazing coach and an amazing man, and having his personage and his team in the league is good for billions and billions and billions of reasons. But what I'm most excited to see is that they're a fantastic football team, high quality, play good, and they give a bus trip to the Carolina Cobras, a team Rez used to coach. So I'm excited to see that rivalry blossom between Wheeling and Carolina. Number 2, the inclusion of the AIF teams. This was a spectacular move, not only for the NAL, but for the sport of arena football. One of the biggest complaints I get from people new to the sport is there's too many leagues to keep track of. They literally experience almost immediate overwhelm trying to understand which teams are in which leagues and why. Brandon Eichert of the AIF showed great maturity in expressing interest in having AIF teams come over. The Amarillo Venom, now rebranded to an old team, the Amarillo Dusters. You bring in the Harrisburg Stampede to some fanfare that ceases operations. It is a hard business to make it through. And people that are new to this sport, they're probably over there like, what gives? I mean, and then there's those people that just laugh. Every time a team folds or ceases operations or whatever, their response is to just laugh. Ha, 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 what some fickle people. Here's the deal. Until you can do better, shut your trap. Okay? Shut your freaking trap. They're not making money, I tell you that. They are not making money. But regardless, Justin Coble did a good thing if he had any doubts about making it through the season. It was good for him to cease operations right now, giving Todd Walkenhorst, commissioner of the National Arena League, and other people that may be involved in this schedule making ample opportunity to fill the dates. So all those that are just over ridiculing and thinking, this was destined to happen, the National Arena League, this is just what they do every single time. They bring in a team that just folds. Shut your trap. Until you can do better, just shut your trap. In fact, your response should be, thanks for the memories, Harrisburg Stampede. Thanks that we got a season with you. Thanks to Justin Coble and everybody else who sacrificed a lot to put a product on the field that we actually enjoy, to actually invest in an entertainment industry that is so underappreciated. the Columbus Lions, one of the longest running franchises in the sport. The Beaumont Renegades, making awesome strides in their organization and giving close travel to the Shreveport Rouxgaroux, and the Corpus Christi Tritons, who, for whatever reason that I'm not privy to, were not included in the NAL schedule this year and have since joined the AF1 and are now part of their schedule. Don't ask me why, because I don't have an answer for you. So yeah, the NAL down to 10 teams. That's still the most they've ever had. Now we get to reason number one that I'm so excited for the 2025 NAL season. The return of the prodigal son. Who doesn't like a good Bible story? The Columbus Lions left the NAL 3 years ago and could have just not played. But the genius owners knew they needed to. Otherwise, many in their fan base would have lost interest when they returned. So they joined an ill-fated AIFA, went undefeated, won the championship. Next season joined AIF, went undefeated, won the championship. So they've gone from AIFA to AIF, and that pattern leads to AI. God forbid. That pattern led to the NAL. They've repented, and like the prodigal son, have made a triumphant return to the National Arena League, a league in which they were charter members. And now the league is preparing the fatted calf for the return of the prodigal Lions, while big brother Carolina Cobras looks on jealously, gloating in the fact that they never left. That's a matchup I want to see again, as Columbus Lions and Carolina Cobras. One of my favorite rivalries I've seen to date. Now, having the Omaha Beef, the Wheeling Miners, and the Columbus Lions gives us three teams that went undefeated last year. And we know that two of them will not repeat. That's exciting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. Now, I did hope to see a few things this offseason go differently. Like I fully expected the Washington Wolfpack to bail on the AFL and give the Idaho Horsemen a closer rival. I expected Oregon to have an NAL team this year for the same reason, really. I also thought the Salina Liberty would come back to give Sioux City and Omaha more trouble. Those things did not happen. Going from 5 teams to end the season last year to 11 teams to start this next one is an exciting sign. And it boasts the largest we've seen the NAL thus far. It's incredible. It's exciting. And please stick with Around the NAL podcast this season as we prepare to give a breakdown of all teams coming up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Oh, there we go. We're back to the club now. Shuffle to the right. Shuffle to the left. Join us next time on Around the NAL.